And we are live. Hi everyone. Happy Wednesday. Jerry here, the Njerineer. And first of all, I just want to say happy Black History Month. Yay! It's February. So, it's Black History Month. And, as I was thinking about what I want to do for the session, even this week, and I was thinking, why not just have something that's more focused on Black history and tied to hair care, beauty for Black folks? And that is what we're doing today. And not just today, but for the next few weeks, for the entire month of February, I will be focusing on just Black history, how it's tied to Black beauty. So if you are joining live, hi, welcome. And if you are watching a rerun, hey, welcome as well. If you're interested in this little series I am doing for the next 4 weeks, hit that subscribe button below and give it a thumbs up if you're interested in this content. And let's say you just like hearing about hair care. I am here every single Wednesday talking about hair care, beauty, self care, whatever you probably want to talk about. We do that here every single Wednesday. So join the family. It's nice, it's cozy. But yeah, before I even get into everything, how's everyone doing? Did you have a good Wednesday? Happy Wednesday. You're halfway through the work week. I know work can be hard. It can be exhausting day in, day out, 9 to 5. Yeah, it can be a lot, but you made it. So give yourself a round of applause, a tap on the back, pat on the shoulder. If you made it to the end of the day, you're not the only one going through this. We're all going through it. We're all just trying to get, through work every single day. It's rough. It's rough out there, I know. But we're here to relax, and I want this time to just be a time for all of us to sit back, relax, enjoy the moment, and let us celebrate Black history. It's going to be pretty chill. It's a very chill conversation. It's not a full blown history class, but I did my research as much as I could. Like, I had, my understanding of what happened in the 60s, but I am not from the 60s. So I did a little bit more digging and, talked to some older folks about their experiences and what they could let me know. And that's how I prepped for today's live. So today's live, we're talking about the Afro and the Black Power movement. If you don't know what the Black Power movement is, back in the 60s, it's kind of derived from the civil rights movement, especially in America. And it was just a time where Black people really stood up on their own and they said, we want to do things for us. We want to push forward people and not just to subscribe to European beauty standards, European ways of life. We are going to make sure that we support our community, do whatever we can. So communities were really fighting for their own, trying to support one another, businesses, books, poems, just Black culture on a whole was really, really, really being just solidified in this time. Well, not solidified. That's not what I want to say, but it was definitely increasing. You could definitely feel the pride in that time. Black is beautiful was also a message that was heavily pushed in this time. It's just being prideful, being proud of who you are. And, I'm going to jump back and forth between that movement and how it means so much for today because when you live in a world where they try to tell you that you're not beautiful because of the texture of your hair, or you're not beautiful because of the color of your skin, it's so damaging. So when you can finally get together as a group and be like, hey, we don't care, we're not doing that, we are going to uplift ourselves, because if you don't want to uplift us, that's okay, we're going to uplift ourselves. And that is part of what was going on in the Black Power movement. And behold, the lovely Afro was definitely, front and center where this was concerned. Now, the thing is, because of what was happening at this time, the Black Power movement, the Afro was seen definitely as a political statement at this time. Good, bad. My thing is, you do you. Like it is an amazing thing to be able to be proud of who you are, and it's kind of crazy that people see you being yourself. Like being yourself is a political statement. Do you know how crazy that is? That people really look at you that way. It's like, oh, you're being political just for being who you are. Absolutely mad, but I'm here for it. I love it. I mean, even myself, I'm not necessarily trying to make political statements all the time, necessarily, but I wear my hair with pride. I don't always have black people around me in my circles, whether it is in school, whether it is at work. Very far and few in between are there persons who look like me, and even when there are, sometimes not everyone necessarily portrays themselves with their natural hair and all of that. So even wearing your hair, like, oh my god, maybe we can have a little story time. So I remember when I was an intern, and I was still wearing faux locks quite a bit, and I would wear my faux locks. I wear braids, braid, crochet, locks, crochet, just crochet, period. I would be wearing that. And then one day, I don't know what triggered it, but I wanted to try to wear my twist out to work, right? And so I was like, yeah, let's try it. I was a bit nervous doing so, but I said, let's just try wearing this twist out to work. And I remember going into work, and I think the first two people I saw were like, oh wow, I love the hair, I love the hair. And then I went to the cafeteria at my work, and the lady at the cashier, she was kind of like, um, why does your hair look like that? And I was like, "Mm." And I had to like find all of the confidence in me to like not let her statement bother me. Because how old was I? I was 20. I had to really find all that confidence because it's when persons already don't wear their hair out like that, right? It can be nerve wracking when you're you're met with disagreements, you're met with just lack of support. It can be daunting. It's hard. So when going back to the Black Power movement, a time where everyone is still processing their hair, relaxing their hair, but now you look around you and everyone is promoting Black Pride. Everyone is promoting Black is beautiful, and all you see are afros. That is a time to be alive where it comes to that, because to see everyone around you wearing an afro, that does someone to someone's self-esteem, right? In a positive way. Everyone feels more encouraged. We see that in the natural hair movement today, which we will talk about later. But everyone seeing someone else wear their hair, it is important. I wear my hair as well so that I have relatives like younger cousins, so that they can also see that, hey, your bigger cousin also is wearing her natural hair. Like it is important for those to see. Like when I was in school, even though this is like years after the Black Power movement, so many persons had gone back to processing their hair, straightening their hair. So not many persons were really wearing the hair. In school, we had a poetry book, and there was a poem called Colonial Schoolgirl. And it basically just talks about how we still subscribe to colonial standards and what was wanted for us back then. Like we were still trapped. We were still trapped mentally. We're in slavery, right? So again, going back to the Black Power movement, to be able to be in a time where everyone is wearing their afro, everyone is embracing who they are naturally, what grows out of their hair, your skin, and just loving being Black and shouting to the top of your lungs that I'm Black, I love it, and I'm proud. And that is just something that's I wish it stayed that way the entire time, but we're definitely moving in the direction where persons are continuing to be proud of who they are as Black people, and love to see it. Love, it's great. But yeah, the afro back then, not everyone wears the afro the same way now. So the afro back then was definitely more round, not really like a twisto. This is definitely like a variation to the afro, this kind of twisto afro, braido afro, not exactly the same, but it definitely set the groundwork. So even though this was something that was happening in the US, it definitely left a mark, definitely influenced many parts of the African diaspora. So even going over to Jamaica, persons, I talked to my parents, many persons started wearing afros in the late 60s, early 70s. The afro was a thing. Everyone had a big round afro in school, and it's just great. So it's so nice to see that everyone was really getting into it. Now, sadly, I think around the 80s is where the afro did start to die down a little bit, late 80s or so, and persons did start processing their hair again and still had the afro, but it wasn't the same like before. But definitely an important moment for acknowledging beauty, black beauty. And hey, that's what I do on this channel. I just want us to be, beautiful as we are, accept and love ourselves for who we are naturally, hair, skin, just be proud and be happy and just continue to love and build that confidence. I think building the confidence is really an important thing. Like, I mean, like, no, for myself, I can go out, wear my hair out. I don't care. I'm very happy with how my hair is. Don't really feel the need to be hiding behind the braids because that's a thing. But that's a thing I'll talk about another time because I do think many of us do try to hide our natural hair behind the braids. Some persons are saying straight natural. I don't know about that. Like certain things are a bit like it's okay. That's what you want to do, but we are definitely regressing a bit when it comes to self acceptance. But yeah, it was a great time. Um, Taking care of the hair. You had the Afro pick. I have a pick. I don't know where I put it, but the Afro pick. You use that to you fluff out the roots to help to give your hair some lift. You shape it. So I guess you go to your barber, get it shaped, all of that. And yeah, it was just I can't imagine what that looks like, to go out on the road and everyone is just wearing an afro. But that was definitely an important part of history. And, we can talk about how that led into the late 2010s. So in the 2010s, do I want to say this for next week? Do we want to talk about it? Let me know. Do we want to talk about what happened in 2010s? I think maybe I can just touch on it very, very briefly today. But I will touch on it a little bit because we did try to revive what happened in the 60s, in the late 2010s, where we had the natural hair movement. And that's really like in my generation, where I also myself started to accept my natural hair, all its glory, its texture, its frizziness, that's really was a thing. So even on YouTube, all the girls were out here trying to teach everyone how to take care of their hair in their natural state. And that is the time that gave me the confidence for sure to start wearing my hair like that. And a lot of others, everybody was doing the big chop. Now I give God thanks. I never had to do a big chop because my head shape would not survive a big chop. It just wouldn't. Right? But, everyone who had the creamy crackle would cream their hair, straighten it, we get a big chop and grow their hair. Lovely, beautiful. We love that. And that was just a great time as well. Now, I don't know what this period would be called. So you could say that the natural hair movement has expanded a little bit outside of the Black community a bit, and many other ethnicities with other curl types are starting to embrace their curls as well. And definitely, we can give thanks to Black women for that, because Black women, one thing about us, we're gonna pave the way. Okay, we can't. There's so many movements that are at the result of just Black women leading it. So it's great that everyone is accepting their curl texture now, and we love that. It's great. I will say there is still a bit of a favoritism nowadays for certain curls. Definitely the tightest coils are getting pushed to the back a little bit, We gotta bring back that coily love, okay? All curls are beautiful, but let's us still remember that the coils are also beautiful. Because I also see the girls going back to creaming their hair and straightening their hair. And I'm just like, oh my god! And it does break my heart anytime I go on TikTok and I see someone who became natural for many years, and then they say, yeah, I'm gonna go back and straighten my hair. It does sadden me. It does sadden me quite a bit when that is the case. Let me know. Have you ever straightened your hair? Have you straightened your hair in the past? Have you been a forever natural? Let me know in the comments what your hair journey has been like. So for myself, I've been a forever natural since birth, so this is all I've known. But I didn't wear my hair out in a state like this because that just wasn't the thing when I was a child, and you just do what your hairdresser does or your mother does. So I was always put in like rope twists and things like that. But I started learning to do my hair in an afro state when I was in high school. So 2010s aligns with the natural hair movement, right? So it's important to be able to see it, and I think that is definitely one key thing to take away from what happened back in the 60s where our beauty is concerned, especially when you're a young person. When you see yourself represented on the world stage, you feel that, like, you feel touched, you feel like, oh, that person looks like me, and you're comfortable, you feel prettier. No one really wants to be the outcast. So it takes, you really need the confidence to be able to stand out regardless of what other people think of you. So like for myself right now, to even go out with my hair and whatever, knowing that persons at work might judge me, may not judge me, I don't care at this point because I really just love my hair for how it is. But when you are growing up and persons around you are straightening their hair and, you know, just putting in braids, when you don't see it, you're going to be hesitant to step out into the world with your natural hair. And, that's something, at least with the 60s, because so many persons were rocking the afro. It was easy. It was almost just easy. And similar with the natural hair movement, everybody was doing it. So you did it. But persons are starting to see that it's difficult to take care of their hair. It's not easy work, but I think it's important work to just be able to push through and just learn to love to take care of your hair. But that's a whole nother conversation, not a history lesson there. Um, but yeah, it is. I think the afro is one of the most beautiful hairstyles in the world, and I'm glad that there was a time where we were able to see so many Black people embrace that part of themselves. So I love that part of Black history. Like, yes, it may have been rooted in also discrimination because they're doing this to rebel. They're doing this to have a stance, for what they believe in, and just standing up for their people. So it wasn't all rainbows and sunshines. Unfortunately, in a lot of Black history, it's not rainbow and sunshine, but it definitely was a very monumental point in history for us, and it definitely set the stage for how we perceive Black beauty today. It is part of our hair, it's our history, and this is the future. And I love it. I love the afro, love being Black, proud to be Black, and hey, I hope you're proud to be Black too. And if you're not Black and you're watching this and you have a Black person in your life, tell them that, hey, I love you, you're beautiful, and just let them know. But let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you are you celebrating Black History Month in any way at all? Do you wear your afro? Do you straighten your hair? Are you thinking about going back to work an afro? Who knows? Let me know in the comments below. And is there a topic you want to hear about in Black History Month this month? Like I said, every Wednesday I am here discussing hair care for natural hair, beauty, self care, and just anything you want to talk about. But specifically for the month of February, I will be focusing on Black history and how it relates to Black beauty as much as possible. So let me know in the comments what you guys, if you're interested, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the like button as well if you enjoyed this video. So thank you everyone for watching. Take care of yourself today, and remember, Self care is how we practice self love. Bye.